lifelong fan of General Hospital?
Are you a new fan who wants to know more about the history of the show?
Do you enjoy talking about the show with others?
Do you find yourself yelling at the TV?
Is your self-care an hour a day in Port Charles?
If so, we invite you to join hosts
Amanda Kimmel
and Shannon Coach at the place where all the hidden conversations take place and secrets are revealed.
Meet us at Pier 54,
a General Hospital fan podcast.
Hello.
Hi.
Welcome to the General Hospital recap for June 26th through 30th. We're back in person.
Yes. And we had all 5 days this week.
We did. So we have a couple of announcements. I guess first, we are actually doing a collaboration with our buddy Max, Vinny of the Suds and Square Circle podcast. That's Vinny. He was one of our fan spotlights before. My husband's Ring the Bell Radio podcast, and the 10th Floor podcast, because the Daytime Emmys and the ESPYs are not happening because of the writer's strike. We're collaborating and doing the Sudsies. So if you just go onto our Twitter, our handle is at a GH podcast, and we've been resharing, or Vinny's been tagging us in the different polls, and then we are all taking turns announcing the winners, and Amanda is going to be announcing Nina's most impulsive moment. I think that is truly just going to be her decision, but we will see what the fans say.
I may overrule them.
You were the only ones, like, in the planning. They're like, and Amanda has to say what Nina, your dislike of Nina precedes you.
I guess so.
Yes. And then, I mean, we don't really talk about when the actors do side jobs and everything, but Nicholas Alexander Chavez is going to be Lyle Menendez.
That is so cool.
I can't picture it yet, though. But
it's going to be so good.
But it's for a Netflix series being done by Ryan Murphy. This is a huge opportunity for him. I am so interested in seeing how this turns out.
I can't wait.
Upset about the fact that we know that means, you know, he has to be available to do that, but I am sure that that will not be a permanent.
They'll figure it out.
Oh, I'm sure. And Sophia Matson had her baby on my anniversary and James' birthday.
She was so cute.
May 21st, so congratulations. No update on Chad Duell and the baby. I've been stalking that one too. And I think they announced before. Well, she didn't announce until later, but so I'm on baby watch. I didn't
that picture was just so cute. You just wanted to like reach to the screen and grab her. She was so adorable.
Yes.
Cute little chubby baby cheeks.
Yep, still no baby. Okay. And so on Thursday, we re-released our very, very first cast interview, which was Bradford Anderson. And I re-listened to it. I didn't even re-listen to it before. Like, I didn't edit it. I just basically downloaded the file again and shared. We've gotten so much better.
I'm saying everyone will appreciate how far we've come.
But he wasn't even on at the time.
Mm-mm.
So in the past 4 years, you know, he's come back and we kind of have a new storyline. The Port Charles Players had been mentioned.
Yes.
And we talked about that as being a way for him to come back. That has not happened.
No.
Dear writers, the Port Charles Players would be great.
I feel like they just have to have him around once school starts again. Mm-hmm. Because the kids are going to be going to school and they have to figure out pick up, drop off, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I'm surprised we haven't seen him with Georgie like at the park all summer.
Right. And even back then, on our very first cast interview, we offered our research and continuity. So, but yes, I think we just didn't know what to ask.
Well, we didn't want to cross lines. We didn't want to ask about personal things, and we didn't want to focus too much on like things that weren't already announced out in the world.
Right. But also we didn't want to recreate his podcast and things that he says.
Exactly. So we just stuck to GH. I think as time went on, it got easier for us to be like, hey, so if there's anything we ask and you don't want to answer it, just say nope, and we'll move on from that. And luckily, we've never had that happen.
I know.
But yeah, we've got a little more bold.
And it was only a little bit over a half hour because I think we were super conscious about the time, and now we're like 3 hours, sure, let's
to you.
Do it,
whatever you want to do.
Exactly. So
well, that just means we need to talk with him again.
I know, but it is so much fun re-listening to these interviews because I don't think I've re-listened to them since the week that they debuted.
Mm-hmm.
So It's been almost 4 years.
Oh my gosh.
It's been 3 years and 11 months since we spoke with him.
Wow. Okay, yeah.
It was August of 2019. Oh, the worst was hearing about how they were making their plans for the spring and summer tour of 2020. That did not happen. No. But we are also taking a little break from revisiting our chats. And this Thursday, we're going to talk about Eddie Main. Finally.
That was so much fun.
I'm still not done. Like, I just want to continue on watching the 90s.
Yeah, reading all the scrapbook stuff and, it goes from this topic to this topic. I'm like, oh yeah, that's when that happened. That's why the 90s were so good. Every character had a major storyline going on.
Yeah, it was. And everyone's still kind of intertwined. They weren't completely separate.
No.
And gosh, I miss the Quartermain squabbles. If you're newer to the show, this is not anything like what we used to have.
Oh my gosh, no.
They used to be so over the top, entertaining. Lila keeping Edward in check.
Yep.
Tracy is the same when we have her.
She just needs someone else to spar with.
Yes.
That's at her same level.
Yes. So, and that was Edward a lot of the time.
Yep.
So that's going to be fun on Thursday, and I'm sure we'll mention it again during today's show. I think that's it. Do you have anything?
Nope.
Oh, yes. Also, if you are not following Marcus Coloma on Instagram, you have to, because he and Ken Shiner have like a whole little mini series going on, and it is hysterical. It's just so much fun to watch. And I especially loved the one where he met Tyler Christopher for the first time, who was the original Nicholas. And, the fans like to have such a, they hate each other, and
they don't hate each other.
No, he was like, I was nervous to meet him. But it's fun. And Sarah Joy Brown, the original Carly.
I just love that they're all still friendly enough to be like,
know.
hey, I'm doing this crazy thing. Will you be on it for 5 minutes? Sure. Okay, great.
Yep. It's so funny. And as Diane mentioned, I think it was last week, that she wanted to take Alexis on the trapeze, or a week ago. It's been recent. And I said, well, Carolyn Hennessy has one in her backyard, and it makes an appearance, in a way, in her spotlight. So it's fun. And John Lindstrom, who we hardly ever see any...
He's so serious all the time.
He is. And he's serious in this, but is so funny serious. So, all right, we'll get to Hulu headlines and get started on today, but definitely go check out Marcus's Instagram. So on Monday, Trina seeks quality time with Spencer.
Okay.
Brooklyn is frantic. Laura encourages Anna. Nina spots a familiar face. And Alexis and Diane catch up. On Tuesday, Nina's relief is short-lived. Laura lays down the law. Ava and Austin are rattled. Trina opens up to Jocelyn. And Lucy defends Martin. Ava is frantic. Wednesday. Ava is frantic. Maxie opens up to Brooklyn. That was sweet. Lucy seeks Felicia's help. Sonny makes an offer. And Carly gets more bad news. Because somehow we're surprised when bad news happens when you break the law. And then on Thursday, Drew breaks a promise. Austin is unrepentant. Liz responds to an invitation. Spencer's temper flares. Sam and Dante enjoy a date night. Did they get to enjoy that?
No.
I don't feel like they did. But okay. And on Friday, Curtis puts 2 and 2 together. Zeke seeks out Jordan. Sasha is candid with Sonny. And Finn is caught off guard. Oh, and Trina presses Portia. And there's your tongue twister for the week.
Yeah, that all happened.
You say that every single week. Yes, that all happened.
That all happened. Hey, sometimes they have the days wrong and the people wrong.
They do.
So
sometimes.
They were correct.
That's only been recent. Where do you want to get started?
I just was mad at Nina all week, but that's nothing new. So
Go for it.
Once again, so she's in the bar. And she's talking on the phone about Ned doesn't remember who he is, blah, blah, blah. And then she turns around and Ned's standing there and he's like, hey, how's the music in this place, blah, blah, blah. And she was respectful of the fact that he wanted to be called Eddie, and one of the only people that were like that, which I guess she's used to because of all the Sonny stuff.
Yeah.
But then they take him back to the apartment and they're trying to explain to him, like, we're not going to pressure you. You need to remember in your own time. But do you have any remembrance of this, this, or this? Blah, blah, blah. And she just keeps pushing him to leave town and leave town and leave town.
Yep.
How can she do this again?
Exactly.
You are consciously
Nina really likes keeping guys with amnesia in the dark.
Right.
Is what I...
Yes, thank you. That's exactly it.
It's like, seriously, we're having her do this again. Because here's the thing with her doing this now. Okay, I still don't agree with what she did with Sonny. However, this completely wipes any ounce of sincerity,
right?
That she truly did fall in love with Mike, that she really thought that she was helping. No, it is the exact same thing.
Yes.
Like,
and she knows, so her and Carly...
Except for he knows that he's in Port Charles, he knows that he has family here and all that, so it wasn't
right
exactly the same.
But her and Carly never really liked each other.
No kidding.
Even before... Right.
They've never been friends?
Never been friends. But her and Olivia seem to have a mutual understanding. Mm-hmm. She seems to care about Leo. She seems to care somewhat about Brooklyn. Like, again, they're not friends, but she cares about Sasha, and Sasha is friendly with Brooklyn and whatever. So once again, you have this family that you know wants him around and is hoping he's going to trigger his memory to recall that he's Ned, and she's like, oh no, you're never going to make it big here. This is just the small players. You have to go to like New York if you want to actually do something.
Well, and all that was after, so at the Savoy, before they brought him back to the apartment, Sonny had talked about, hey, I do know who you are. We've known each other since the 90s. You were part of a record label that I helped two girls run. And so after we do Eddie Main, we're also going to do L&B Records because it actually has its own story like every other business, but it really, really does because Sonny's involvement is kind of crazy, like it normally is. But he says, yeah, and they signed two singers. One is off. I don't know. He made it big. He's living the crazy life. And that was referring to Ricky Martin, living La Vida Loca. And I was laughing so hard. I loved that. Mm-hmm. I hope that was not written. It probably was. But that's who it was referring to. And they signed 3 people. There's somebody that he's forgetting. No. There might have been a 4th. I haven't finished all the research. But at the beginning, yes, they did sign 2 people. So Sonny was basically telling Eddie, we've worked together before.
Right.
I can help you.
Right.
Get reintroduced into the music scene.
You were big enough. You had a CD back then.
Yes.
So I can get you to that same point. And that's ultimately how he ends up keeping Eddie/Ned around, is he says, let's compromise. You stay here just to give your family peace of mind. Like, I'm not expecting you to pretend to be anyone's husband or have feelings you don't have, but just so they know that you're here and you're safe. And I will help connect you again with all of the music things that you need to make it big, hopefully.
And then he tried to go on stage. Well, he did go on stage and tried to play, and he passed out a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that was a little too soon. He just got out of the hospital. But yeah, the whole time Nina's, nope, you need to leave. And then she says, oh, he just ran off, and Dex has to bring him back. And whatever, Nina. You're, again, just proving that you're not a good person because you're doing the exact same thing all over again because it serves you the best.
Yep. But yeah, and then Olivia came over with the photo album and the dessert ravioli.
I want to try those. That's another thing we need.
Okay, so cold pasta also will come into play on Thursday. Olivia's dessert ravioli. So she comes over and she's like, well, I just brought you some clean clothes. Can I just show you some pictures? And so there's a picture of him as Eddie Main. And then basically right next to it, or on the next page, they show Lois. And it was Rena Sofer, not Leslie Kay, who was the most recent Lois. So there has to be a reason.
Yep.
There has to be a reason, because, I mean, if she did not come back when her daughter's throat was slashed, why wouldn't she come back when her now ex-husband is...
thinking he's Eddie.
Yes. So...
and Olivia was a little heartbroken because he seems to have no recollection of who she is. But whenever he saw the picture of Lois, he was like, man, she looks familiar. Her name is on the tip of my tongue. And Sonny was like, that's our friend Lois.
But he remembered his guitar.
Yes.
The most.
Yes.
Okay, so they say that music hits the brain we talked about this, I think, with Mike. We talked about this with Mike, that even if, Parkinson's or dementia or something, music impacts the brain differently. But would seeing an instrument do the same thing? I don't know.
I don't know either.
So, okay.
Must have those good memories.
I'm excited about it, though. I'm excited to travel down memory lane about it on Thursday. I'm excited to see where this is going. I hate the fact that we have 2 people with amnesia on the show right now because, okay.
Yep.
But it's cool. And if you're a newer fan to the show, this is not Eddie Mae.
No, we said that last week. No.
Yep. But we're just going to keep reiterating that one. Don't know where to go from there.
Want to jump to Carly? Because Nina was on the phone talking about how Drew was getting punished and Carly was getting off scot-free again and how mad she was.
Sure.
And so later we see Diane show up and she's like, I have some good news and some bad news. The good news is you don't need to go to jail or anything. The bad news is here's your fine.
So we've talked about it before that obviously these people live lives that 99% of people don't live. However, could there have been a more unrelatable 10 minutes of the show ever in its history?
You mean you don't get sad that you just have to start over again because your whole life savings goes to this fine?
$5 million? Excuse me, where was that $5 million when you could save your hotel?
Right. That question was asked a lot online this
And
week.
then Joss offers her trust fund and she has to face her reality now that she has to get a job. Carly has to face her reality now that she just has to get a job. And she seriously says to Joss, when the world kicks us while we're down, we'll just kick back. No, you created this.
Yes.
This is not the world kicking you while you're down. This is, you did something wrong. This is a consequence, Carly.
Yep.
That whole thing. I was just like, oh my gosh, privilege. Okay.
And Joss is like, well, you could ask Sonny for some money or you could ask Michael. And Diane's like, no. You cannot ask either of them for money. That will get you in more trouble.
This would have been a good way for Carly to lose the hotel.
Mm-hmm. Right. For her to even say, oh, well, that'll just wipe my savings out. Like, yeah. If you had that money, why would you not have saved the hotel to begin with?
Yeah.
I just don't understand.
I don't. It was the dumbest. I'm sorry. I just sat there. I was like, where did that come from?
So I don't know how legal stuff like that works because luckily I've never been involved in insider trading. But do you not have some type of choice? Because to me, like, I'll spend the next 3 years in jail way easier than coming up with $5 million.
Yeah.
So can you give me the choice of which one I want to do? Like, why is hers definitely a fine to that ridiculous amount?
That is a really good question. Like, why doesn't she get...
Drew didn't have to pay that much.
Because she even asked, can you now represent Drew? And Diane said that her stuff is still pending. Maybe because he was... I think that they are believing him that he did not instigate and was maybe not driving it, but she still has to go to court.
Right.
So maybe that's why she's getting a fine and then she's going to get something else.
I feel like you should...
I don't know.
Have some type of choice because even if you do have that as your life savings, that's your whole life savings. Like, Carly's not a spring chicken anymore.
Then maybe we don't do illegal activities that could drain our life savings. It's a crazy notion.
But...
No, there's no but. We don't do illegal things. If you don't want your stuff taken away, don't do illegal things.
But do you really want to take this woman with a small child and bring her down to where she has nothing?
You mean like she would have to get a regular job like the rest of the community and have to support her child the same way that everyone else does? Except for she does have Sonny's support also for that child, and Sonny is well off.
I just feel like she should have the choice. I'd rather do 3 years than $5 million.
It's not like Carly completely was self-sufficient. She heavily relied on the money of Sonny and Jax. And yes, she did pull herself up from where she was, but she definitely did.
I'm just saying, I don't think she's going to be able to afford her mortgage payment on a...
Then you find a more reasonable house.
Oh, that's unacceptable.
Sorry for reality, Carly. Now she can go work at Kelly's. Now she can be the owner of Kelly's because that's going to come up. That's going to have to be addressed.
It's definitely going to come up.
So now she can just turn the upstairs into her own little studio loft.
I can't do that to Donna.
It's probably pretty big up there. There's multiple apartments. She can make it nice. I don't know. We don't know how big upstairs is.
There's only like 4 apartments.
But you don't know what the hallway situation looks like.
No.
She goes to jail. She's going to wind up living with Sonny anyway.
Well, that's true. But then she wouldn't have to change the lifestyle she's accustomed to.
Don't put your lifestyle at risk by doing things that put your lifestyle at risk.
Didn't do anything wrong.
Donna didn't. Then Carly should have been thinking about that.
Well, yeah.
And Sonny should think about that with his stuff, too.
True.
I love that Tracy is basically trying to get Drew to turn Carly in, though. She's supporting him. I mean, it's...
Yes.
In her own way.
Yes. Well, Carly finally said it this week whenever they were getting ready to make love, that she felt responsible because Michael came to her with information so that she could flip on Sonny, and then maybe they wouldn't have looked at Drew at all. And he, again, is like, no, that's okay. I don't mind being away from my daughter for 3 years for you.
Pretty sure they would still look at the CEO of the company and the relationship between them and the person who did the insider trading. I don't think that Drew would have been looked at either way.
Not if she would have made a deal that said you're going to let us both off. But I don't know that they could do that. Can you make a deal for someone else if they're not your spouse? I don't know.
I don't think you can even make one for your spouse. You don't have to turn against your spouse, but I don't think you get to make a deal for your spouse.
I don't know. I thought that's where they were going to go. Whenever they were talking about their last night together and how are they ever going to survive, I thought that they were going to say, let's get married before he goes to jail.
Oh, God, no.
So that they can have visits.
I'm sorry. I just fast-forwarded a lot. I don't need that.
I mean, I don't need the intimacy scene, but the conversation.
I kind of just didn't care. I'm sorry. I'm kind of done with this storyline.
Okay.
I am. It's been too long. She did the thing.
It has been
Drew's
too long.
paying for it. Oh, woe is me.
Don't you think that Tracy's
being
going to step
punished
in
for
here?
something I did.
I feel like Tracy's going to step in so that Drew doesn't go away for 3 years.
I don't know. I think Cyrus is going to do something, and he's going to be able to maybe reactivate Drew, and that's why he wants to have him as a friend.
Oh, okay.
But I do think that Cyrus is reformed, so he probably won't use tarot cards or anything.
He's not reformed.
I do think he is.
We have had this conversation before.
I know, and it's
You
on
are
our
wrong.
who's right. I'm right.
You are wrong.
I think that he's reformed,
he is not.
but he's interested in Drew. Maybe he's going to look out for him.
Yeah, sure.
Maybe.
They're going to join Bible study together. I don't think so.
Makes sense. Don't make fun of the Bible.
I'm not making fun of the Bible. I'm making fun of the idea of Cyrus holding study groups of the Bible like that's his actual intent.
I don't know. I think he's changed.
Uh-huh.
I do. So Cyrus is back.
Yeah, that was seriously just a blip. It was
Yeah.
like, wait, I want more.
So I guess we could just stick on Tracy.
Okay.
And chased it up to her and told her to back off of Brooklyn, that she's upset about the stuff with her dad. So she took the day off. They went for a run. And I think that Tracy is working with one of Martin's exes.
That would make sense because I wondered who was giving him the $50,000 payment.
He was giving it. That was taken out of his account.
Are you sure?
I think so.
I don't think so. I think he got a payment of $50,000.
I thought that was his, because then he's very, very, very adamant about Lucy needs to zip it about the fact that he had anything to do with the Deceptor, because then his exes could look at it and go, he's benefiting from this. I want more money.
Yes, I understand that that's why he's like, don't say anything about it. But
Yeah, I thought that he paid out that money, because I thought he said, and just like clockwork, because he was all sad about it. That's when he was like, don't worry, Lucy, this is, you don't want to marry
read
me.
that first paragraph.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah, he got a deposit of $50,000.
I definitely thought that he paid that out, because that, I don't know.
And then he ignored a text from his third ex.
Right, yeah.
And so, yeah, the article's going on to suppose that he is playing both sides or something.
This is why I don't read stuff about current storylines.
I'm not trying to suppose what the article is saying one way or the other. I just know I was pretty
'Cause I don't
certain that
want
he
to
got the $50,000 from ex number 2, and then ex number 3 was like, why are you ignoring me? So I think he is working with Tracy.
I don't
but
think
that they want
he's
the
working.
patent for something else.
You think he's the one working with Tracy?
He has to be working. Well, he has to be working with his ex who's working with Tracy, or he has to be working with Tracy.
Oh, I don't like that Martin's gonna hurt Lucy like this. But I thought he was better than that. Come on, Martin.
I want to know who Tracy is working with that cares about a cosmetic product.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think that it's one of his exes, because then it can go back to if Lucy wrote down Martin and I, because Brooklyn made a point of saying it goes back to the original
Paperwork,
day one. So if if there's even an email that is for whatever reason saved in that file
that says Martin
and I talked about this, then the ex could be like, excuse me. Ooh, okay. So who is somebody famous from another soap opera that was into skincare? I don't know the answer to this. I'm legit asking.
I don't know, because my frame of reference is only
All My Children.
Yeah, which Erica Kane did have a cosmetics interest, but I don't know.
So
I don't know if there was one on All My Children.
Because what if, so like that article said, it said something about, is he worried about it already being patented? What if it's not the same, but it's similar enough and maybe just tweaked enough that someone could say, but Martin knew about this. So it's suspicious that now Lucy has this, yes, XYZ is different, but the core, whatever proprietary information
that would make
is.
sense.
But so that's why I was wondering who would be, so it would be one of his exes, but is there somebody from another show? Could it be Erica Kane? Are they the same age?
No.
Well, that doesn't really matter as we see that.
Right.
That'd be exciting. Or do you think she's working with Morgan Fairchild?
Oh.
Haven.
Yeah, that would be good.
Haven, whatever the heck her name is. Mm-hmm. But I don't think she would do that to Sasha. I don't feel like that's something that Tracy would team up with someone who would do something like that to like someone like Sasha, like with the baby. And Tracy plays dirty personally, but she would not use something like that.
I don't know.
Against someone who has not done anything to her.
Yeah, but
Sasha hasn't done anything to her.
I feel like Tracy could say that wasn't me. That was Haven.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that Tracy doesn't play dirty. She absolutely does, but it's typically against people that
explain
do
why
it to
she
her.
doesn't. Part of the reason that she doesn't like Cody is because Cody's so protective of Sasha, and he was like shutting it down.
Oh, see, I think she just sees Cody as trying to become one of the Quartermains the same way that she's seen all the other people like Sky and everyone else who comes in saying, I'm related. And then it's, are you?
I don't know. I'm interested to see where it all is going. I don't want Lucy hurt, though.
No, and I don't want Sasha to get hurt. I don't want Tracy to be involved in anything that hurts Sasha either, because they have nothing.
Right.
Like, there's no reason for Tracy to...
Right.
And as we saw Tracy with Leo last week, she does have a heart. She does have a soft spot when it comes to family in general.
But Sasha's going to get her heart broken either way, because she's pushing this whole, she doesn't want Gladys in charge of her stuff anymore. We see her talk to Sonny this week, and he says, you know, Gladys came to me with some concerns. Can you just talk to me? And she talked like a normal person. Yes, I have this fear because sometimes I feel like this, but then I snap out of it and I move on. And so I feel like I'm in a good spot to control my own stuff. I appreciate what Gladys has done for me, but I want to be independent. And Sonny says, well, that's the exact answer that I wanted. If you would have been all super confident, I would be concerned, blah, blah, blah. Yep. So if they go forward with this, she's going to realize what Gladys has done.
And I think of all the people in Port Charles, Sonny lost Lily and his unborn child, who he didn't have the opportunity to even hold. Mm-hmm. But he understands that two devastating losses super close together in very tragic ways. They're different, but...
Right, he can have sympathy for that, yes. Right. And when he sees how much money Gladys has taken and the fact that she sold the garage...
Oh, she's in trouble.
Yeah.
Just a bit. One thing we forgot to talk about was when Lucy called for Mac and Felicia to join them, and then he and Mac were bonding, and he said, hey, Lucy was just talking about how back in the day you guys all hung out together when she was with Doc, and that's Kevin for anyone who doesn't know.
I love that she's still calling Doc.
I know. And doing all the Eddie Main research, we see Sigmund mentioned a lot, and I'm like, Sigmund the duck. But so Martin's like, oh, let's go for a swim. And then Mac takes off his shirt and he's like, I'm good. I'm just going to sit here and drink. I don't think he said actually, let's go for a swim, but it was something like,
yeah, let's get comfy.
Let's hang out, And then he's like, I'm just going to keep my shirt on. I'm good.
Yes. But then she asked Felicia if she could investigate
Yeah.
So I'm glad that if there is something shady, there's obviously something going on, but whatever shadiness is going on, that it's going to be Felicia that finds it instead of her hiring Sam.
Yes.
Because Felicia can do just as good of a job. I have faith.
Yeah, she absolutely can. And she knows Tracy. Mm-hmm. Much better than Sam does.
Oh, absolutely. Oh, that's what we saw. I said, I think that Tracy's going to get Drew off of his 3 years or whatever. Tracy was saying how awful it was that he got 3 years because they came over, Dante and Sam came over with Scout so that they could tell her that he was going to go away for 3 years. And Sam said, but we'll see him every weekend.
Right.
That was a big commitment.
It's Sam. She's absolutely going to.
That's a big commitment. If someone that I knew that was important to my kids' lives went to jail, I would be like, yeah.
Like their father?
Every other weekend. I mean, they only see him every other weekend.
As of right now, they only see him.
So every other weekend or once a month, but no, I'm not.
But despite what we see on screen, it sounds like Drew is more of an at least every other, sometimes maybe every day, touching base, seeing he's the coach of her swim team, stuff like that. So, yeah.
I don't know. Every weekend for 3 years is a lot. But good for you, Sam. That was very nice.
It's 156.
Thank you. Anyway, very nice of you, Sam, to say that that's what you would do, but I'm still hoping that Tracy comes through and fixes it because 3 years is absurd.
Like, why can't he just have house arrest and surrender passport? And he's never been in trouble with the law before. Carly has.
Yep.
Come on. I never thought I'd be like so super against Carly, but I'm just tired of the stupid whining over, I did something wrong and now I have to pay. It's annoying.
Well, in the fact that he didn't profit from it. Like, I know that if he would have done what they're saying he did intentionally, that would have been wrong. But it's not like, oh, he made $1 million and he's getting to keep that or whatever. Right. So why can't he be on house arrest?
Right. So, I guess we could just stick with Sam and Dante went to the High Slider, and so did Spencer and Trina, and Joss and Dex, and Spencer and Dex wind up getting in a fight. Dante comes over, tells the bartender, I got this, I'm off duty, but I got this, and says to them, pretty sure you guys aren't even over 21, so how about you just leave?
Yep.
But then Trina gets all upset about it, rightfully so. I mean, she's talked... So wait a second. She is just now getting the details about Dex. Like asking, oh, how did you and Joss even meet?
Yeah, that's so
weird. She didn't get that from Joss the second that she was like, hey, by the way, we're together.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was weird. But so then she gets upset because also earlier in the week, she had gone over to spend time with Spencer. Mm-hmm. And Esme was frantic, and it seemed like Esme was maybe trying to interrupt their time.
Yeah.
But Trina and Spencer are like the most logical and level-headed people on the show right now. Well, up until Spencer punched Dex.
Right.
On Monday, Spencer was very mature and discerning with, I can understand, like, they're thoughtful. They're not just being me. It's, oh, this is how things impact other people. And she's like, yeah, I guess if I was trying to tell someone how to raise their kid, that should not be... I should expect for that to not be received well.
Yes, but on the other hand, she should also know that Esme is manipulative, even if she's somewhat reformed.
Right.
And so she's purposely acting helpless to interrupt them, to put space in between them, because she doesn't like Trina for whatever reason, and so she doesn't want her around. And I would have just played along and been like, here, I'll help you. The binky's right here. Like, right. You want him involved? I'll be involved too. Stop being so helpless when you know how to raise your kid.
But I also like when Trina was upset about something, Spencer said, do you need advice or do you need me to listen?
That is true.
And then he sings. He sings to baby Ace as Trina's leaving, and that's why Trina's bummed out and sad and everything. But I don't know. I thought that they did a great job on Monday.
They did do a great job on Monday. And then they got to the bar and he starts talking about how he kept the information that he told her he was going to get rid of, and that they need to find some type of reputable something to go along with it. And she's like, what do you mean go along with it? I thought you got rid of that. And we're like starting from scratch. And that's whenever Joss and Dex come in and are like, here, we'll help you. And Trina's like, yeah, he's not supposed to have the information he has.
But Dex sounded like he was actually agreeing with Spencer, and Joss is like, you can still use it. It doesn't matter if it's fabricated, if it gets you what you want.
Right. And Dex is like,
you are your mother's child.
That.
Exactly.
Yeah. As soon as they see that something's shady, none of it counts. And then you can get in trouble for interfering with the process. Like, come on, Joss, don't be so, oh, well, it'll all work out.
Yep.
But yeah, so then he punches Dex, and then Dex, like, bam, punches him, and Spencer is all hurt. But then Trina goes to her mom, and I know she doesn't know that her mom is working the other side yet, but just the whole scene felt wrong.
Yeah, they're not back there yet. They're not back to that mother-daughter relationship yet.
So
she knows that she hates Spencer, so why would she go running to her? Yeah.
It just, you felt bad for Trina the whole time because Portia's like, oh yeah, you know, if you're going to be involved with Spencer, you're going to have to deal with Esme. And they're taking this parenting class that you like forced on Esme. I'm not saying it's not a good idea for Ace in the
reason
long run.
behind her.
Yeah, but the reason you're telling them to take this class is so that you can push them together more and make it seem like they're a happy little family so that Trina drops him. And that's not fair.
Nope.
You didn't want Trina telling you what to do in your love life, so why are you trying to tell Trina what to do?
But Portia said exactly what we said last week. Like, yes, she should not be involved in the relationship. I wish that she had been like, then tell your brother to leave me alone, like keep me out of it, because that is how that whole thing happened. Mm-hmm. But I mean, there are things that kids know, especially at that age. Like, there are things that kids know, you know, but like I tell them, I'm like, but the rest of it's not up to you. I'm like, there's still a lot behind the scenes going on. It's like, but here's you can't hide it either. You know, you can't just pretend to be
you can't
perfectly
hide it,
happy.
But at the same time, Trina's not in the house.
Right.
So it's one thing, you know, as adults, whenever we have disagreements with our significant others, if the kid's in the house and hearing you be like, no, I don't want to talk about this right now, or getting a little snippy with each other, yeah, they're going to ask, hey, what's going on? And no, you don't give them all the details, but yeah, a little bit of
stupid.
You know, we're disagreeing about something, but it's okay. It's grown up stuff. We'll figure it out or whatever. And Trina didn't need to be part of that. Zeke put her in the middle of it, and then she's like, so what are you going to do since you feel like you're entitled to be in my relationship? Let me give you advice on yours. And Portia's like, no. None of your business, no.
Yep.
But I'm signing your boyfriend up for a parenting class with...
Why didn't she go to Marshall? That's who she goes to.
Yeah.
It makes zero sense that she went to Portia.
Yep. And Marshall would have taken the middle road and been like, I'm not going to stand up for Curtis. He shouldn't have done that.
No, I just meant about even the Spencer thing.
Oh, right.
Because she knew that Spencer, she knows he would not judge Spencer. And he would be like, well, I was a young man and he has not learned how to control his temper.
Right.
And that's not okay. Like, he definitely needs to figure that out.
Right.
But he would not have been as manipulative as Portia. I don't like that they're doing this to Portia.
Mm-mm.
I understand, and it all makes sense. She thinks that she's looking out. However, did she not just learn that lying for what she thinks is the right reason doesn't pay off?
Exactly.
Like, she is in the middle of learning this lesson. How about we don't start a new one?
Mm-hmm. Her and Nina need to take a class together because they just keep repeating their behavior. Ugh, it's so frustrating. And then poor Jordan is just like stuck in the middle of it because she really was trying to do the right thing and walk away and be done. And then she's like, Zeke, I don't want to talk to you either because this didn't need to be blown up into something we'd already decided it was done. You just hurt your sister for no reason. And then Curtis comes over and is like, hey, I want to talk to you. And then Zeke walks in and is like, oh, so this is why you couldn't see me. No, Zeke, I didn't want to see you just because I'm done with you and I don't want to see you. Thanks. Right. And then him and Curtis have an exchange where he's like, you can think whatever you want. Just leave my daughter out of it.
Right, exactly.
You had no right to tell her to be distrustful of me.
It's like the writers knew what we were going to say last week and gave us what we wanted. It's like they predicted what our response was going to be. Because you could tell Curtis did not want to talk to Trina about it, but he also didn't want to lie to her because that was not a good idea. So, but he didn't give her too much.
No, I felt like he was appropriate with his information.
Okay, are we doing this whole Spencer Esme thing where they're going to try to get Spencer to fall for Esme as she is now and as the perceived, and she is innocent right now with the amnesia. because she's asking about her past and he's reminiscing. But the thing that he's reminiscing about was a lie.
Mm-hmm.
She may have genuinely be touched by the snow globe, and there probably was a part of her that truly did love it. But the reason behind their entire relationship was a lie.
I think that they're going to have Esme fall in love with Spencer for real.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think that he's going to fall in love with her.
I hope not, because that whole shirtless thing, I was like, let's not do that.
Yeah, I think it would be hard to get over the fact that someone slept with your dad.
On this show, I don't know.
As a teenager?
He's not a teenager anymore, though.
All right, as a young man?
Yeah.
I don't think I could get over that.
There's a lot of things that happen on this show I don't think I could get over. The fact that Kevin does not have his own private practice and is not a billionaire with multiple doctors working underneath him is beyond me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I see Esme trying to connect to something and then reminiscing and her not wanting to know that she was an evil person. So she's like, I'm sure that old Esme liked you for some things, blah, blah, blah. And she got him the ice. I think it's her that's going to end up falling for him. I don't think he's going to fall for her. I hope not. Fingers crossed. I don't want them to end up something happening. But I did have that same thought when he had his shirt off and she was like, here. I was like, if they kiss, I am going to be so mad.
I was like, no. So Laura's leaving. Laura has left.
I liked that she's like, is that all that you're taking? And Laura's like, oh yeah, I'm used to packing lightly.
Right. Like, I got this, don't worry. And then Spencer was sweet. I'll take that down. And she's like, I can manage that.
Yeah.
Come on. Respect the fact that that kid does have
good manners. Yeah.
Yes, just like his dad.
Yep.
But is there no one announcing guests to the mayor's penthouse?
Guess not. Martin and Lucy just pop on over.
I could not see all the book titles.
Oh, geez. Thank goodness.
There was a lot, but they all looked like law-ish and political. Maybe not political-ish, but very...
How to Run a Town?
Sure.
Is that a book? How to Run a Town for Idiots?
There might be. There's a Netflix series coming out called How to Run a Cult.
Oh, my
And I have jokingly been like, seriously, how do these people start cults? Because I can't get my family to do anything.
All right.
That's a lie. I'm... You know, if you are a parent, you know what that feels like.
Yes.
Okay. But I'm like, all right, I need to learn from some cult leaders because I'm like, maybe I can learn some skills.
Yes. Here you go. My house is perfectly clean because it's not a family anymore. It's a cult. Oh, my.
Like, how do I brainwash you into picking up socks?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, nothing bad. Just pick up your own stuff.
Exactly. It would be nothing bad.
All right, I'll have to watch. We can take notes on that. Instead of the reality check, we can be learned about running a cult.
With all the true crime that like I listen to and I watch, and I'm just like, but how? How did you get 30-something people to believe that there was a spaceship behind a comet?
Yeah.
How?
I don't know.
That you had to go on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I don't know. Maybe we'll find out in this new Netflix series.
This is not a paid advertisement.
Nope.
So Martin and Lucy are going to be on call, though, for Spencer and Esme.
Yeah.
And as soon as Spencer's like, so have you ever changed a diaper? And he's like, no, that is you. Mm-hmm. You will be taking care of that.
Oh, you. It was cute. Like, it was just a cute throwback to the fact that Lucy puts herself in situations that she's not necessarily welcome in.
And then before that, Laura, Felicia, and Robert went to see Anna.
Oh, yeah. That was... I don't know.
I kind of forget what happened.
Over the scene. So they go in. So first they went in and they were trying to drag her out to the Savoy.
Yes.
And she's burning all of her papers for accommodations and stuff.
That was this week. Wow, this was a long week.
Yes. And then she doesn't agree to go out with them. So they leave. And then the next day or so, Valentine comes rushing in and she's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I just needed to know if you were okay. Because someone had wrote murder on her front door.
How did he know? Does he have like a camera on?
No, I think he was just coming to visit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because he did seem very urgent, so it seemed like he came over for that purpose.
No, I think he
was just coming over and
saw that and was like, oh my gosh. So he came inside and then they looked at the door and he's like freaking out and she's like, it's probably some kids, it's fine. And then they rehashed how guilty she feels about her involvement.
Yeah. How does she not have a security system?
I don't know.
Why is there not a security company in this town? Why has Spinelli not started a security company?
Oh, that would be great.
Yes. I'm really upset that society setups did not last. I thought that was brilliant. Mm-hmm. Ooh, and then Robert yelled at Sonny for using Diane, and she shut him down hard and was like, and what is he doing that's any different than when you and Holly used me for?
Yep.
Oh.
He did not know what to say.
Nope. Logic always wins.
Yeah, she's like, you told me you'd call me. And he's like, and then Holly left. And she's like, no, that's not you picking me, and I'm not going to be second best. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. I loved that Alexis invited her to do yoga thinking that she wasn't going to be available.
Right? And then she starts stretching, and Alexis is like, yeah, I'm not doing all that. I was just wanting to chat you up and hope that you were going to tell me you were with Robert instead.
No, that was a fun scene.
That was.
And what, they went and got, they went and got coffee instead or something? Oh,
yes.
Ava and Nina went and got coffee last week. Either way, these women are blowing off their workouts.
Yeah.
And still somehow look like that.
They must have been going for a drink, because that's how they ran into everyone at the Savoy.
Alexis would not have said we're going to go for a drink.
I mean, she could have meant she was going to get a mocktail.
Maybe.
I don't know. I can't remember. Huh.
I can't either.
Anyway, they ended their workout and they went somewhere else.
Yes. Oh, I think the only thing we have left is Maxie and Brooklyn. So Tracy told Brooklyn to go to work.
I'm mad at Brooklyn. I know she wants to listen to Tracy, but I'm mad at her because she brings lunch to Maxie and Maxie like pours her heart out.
She hasn't, and I don't know how we haven't thought about that yet, that she won't leave that apartment because it's the last piece of Nathan.
Yeah.
That's where she met him on New Year's Eve when he was coming to sublet.
Yeah. It made me sad. It made me think of my old house. That connection. It's mine forever. So poor Maxie doesn't want to move because she doesn't want to forget that.
Yeah.
And Brooklyn's like, but it's okay. You'll take that piece of him with you. Like,
right.
You're going to move on, blah, blah, blah. So they're being all friends. And then Maxie gets up to go do something. And Brooklyn gets the file and downloads it. It doesn't even take her salad. Like, doesn't even write a note and be like, hey, I got a call from Leo. I need to go or whatever. Just abandon ship.
You know what, though? At least she did leave her salad because when Maxie called her assistant and she was like, she didn't even check in today, Maxie could have been second-guessing herself and was like, wait a second.
Did that really happen?
My food's here, but Brooklyn's not here, and she wasn't here, and her assistant doesn't even know she was in the building, so was I dreaming? Did I?
I guess so. But it felt icky for Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I like her being nice.
Yeah.
People not being nice. Ava kicking Austin out of her.
Oh, how did that's not? Yes. Sorry.
That's okay.
You know why? Because I corrected the spelling on something, so I crossed out the word.
That's okay.
Which looks like I crossed out my topic.
Understood. But
kidnapping a kid? No.
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 No. No, she slapped him hard and was like, don't you ever. And he was like, you should be thanking me because now I just got Pilar in trouble, so it'll make sense that Sonny will let her go.
Except for Sonny's not.
No, he's not going to.
Because it happened. You know, it's someone who's been with his kids forever. You know, he knows.
Right. And she said, I took my eyes off of her for a second. It said my grandma was calling. It's not like, oh, I was playing on Facebook or making a TikTok.
Right.
Like,
right.
My grandma was calling. She was right in front of me, and then she wandered off.
Yep.
And it can happen that
balloons,
fast.
It absolutely can.
Yeah, to get a balloon. And Austin's like, oh, she was by the pond. I, saved her life. No, you didn't. You set the whole thing up. You're a jerk. So, yeah, that headline of him and Ava were worried. No. He was not worried. He set the whole thing up.
Well, it wasn't he and Ava. It was just...
I thought it said Austin and Ava are worried.
Ava is frantic on Wednesday, and then on Thursday, Austin is unrepentant.
Oh, okay.
So those are both accurate.
Yeah, those are accurate. I thought it was saying that they were both, frantic.
No.
But no, they go back to her house, and he says again, we need to work together. You don't understand the bad people that are controlling this. And she again says, who are these bad people?
Right.
And I thought he was going to say something, give some kind of clue.
There are all kinds of guesses going. Okay, so like I said, I don't pay a ton of attention, but there was a whole bunch of guesses going on. Faith was mentioned as one. And in my research with Eddie Main, I forgot that Ned and Faith had a thing. Mm-hmm. What if Dex is Ned and Faith's kid?
Oh, that would be good.
Makes zero sense.
But that's
why all the Sonny stuff and everything, but
okay.
because I just want Faith to come back.
Yeah, she doesn't care who the dad is. She's just going to keep coming up with scenarios that Faith's
I really
the mom.
don't. It could just be Faith's baby.
Right. There's the whole surrogacy storyline we never heard about, but it's okay as long as Faith's the mom.
Yep. Well, for all we know, though, Faith could have had a baby because we know she came to Port Charles to avenge her husband's death. We don't know that she didn't have a baby before she came.
True.
She could have left him with the babysitter.
True.
For safety.
Sure. I'm all for it. All for it. It would make it very interesting.
Yes.
But yeah, he was not giving up who the mastermind.
Could you imagine if Faith comes? Sorry.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to have a good time doing that 411.
The whole week's storyline will just be about Faith. You will not get any other information out of Shannon. She'll just be like, but then Faith did. So, yeah, I don't know. He didn't give any information, and they're like yelling at each other, and then they kiss, and then she pushes away from him, and then she grabs him and kisses him again, and then they fall into bed.
I loved her neurotic picking up after her.
Yes, and he's like, is this like your thing? And she's like, no, you have to just get out of my house. Leave.
Yep.
Like, take the hint. Get out. And he says, if it's nighttime, I'm going to have to wake up the launch guy. And she's like, I don't care. Goodbye. And slams the door in his face.
Okay, that was good.
It was good because
I'm so mad that she slept with him
after.
Yeah. I would have been...
If it had been before the kidnapping.
And then...
Yes.
And then you're like, what?
Right.
And then there would have been 2 slaps because...
Yeah. Right. You let me hook up with you knowing that you were going to have my daughter temporarily
I don't think he
kidnapped.
knew. Oh, no, because it was afterwards. Yes. Yeah. Bad sequence of events there. Mm-hmm. But they are... I like them.
I mean, they definitely are sassy back and forth, so...
Because he called her out on, no, I did not have to get brought into the fact that you killed your husband.
And she's like, but that was your fault. You offered to help.
Right.
And I think they should know by now that he's not dead, because they went back and the body was gone.
Right. And didn't Mason tell them that? Didn't Mason say that he just talked about Nicholas for something? What did he say?
He didn't say that Nicholas was alive. He alluded, like, he took the body, or he saw. So I guess that's what they're thinking, is he just took and disposed of the body for them, but he's never actually said that.
Why would you assume that someone that's blackmailing you disposed of the body for you?
Right. You're not my friend.
I would 100% think, nope, you are holding that thing somehow.
Right. You have a freezer somewhere.
I still think it's Olivia. I do. I still think it's Olivia. Because then it's going to be, obviously, Ava against her sister, but then also Austin is going to have to be torn between his whatever needed loyalty to Olivia, wherever that came from.
But Cody said, if we can trust anything Cody said it wasn't. Because she said, is this about my sister, my brother? Like, I'm not part of the Jerome crime family anymore. And he was like, no, this is bigger fish to fry than your family.
Yeah. You're talking about Austin, not Cody?
Cody said it.
Why did Cody say that?
It was like a week or 2 ago. They were in Austin's office, and she was like,
Mason?
Mason, that's it.
Okay, I'm like,
God,
Cody's
sorry,
not here.
Cody.
I'm like, what are you talking about?
This all the time. I'm sorry.
I'm like, wow, did I miss something? Did I miss Cody getting involved in the storyline somehow?
And I'm like, why are you looking at me like that? Because I always mix them up. I'm sorry.
But
Mason, they were in.
Mason would lie. Maybe Austin doesn't know. Because isn't Mason his boss? If I feel like Mason is his boss.
I feel like Mason is just the enforcer.
Yeah.
There's the word I was looking for. Whew.
I'm still going with Olivia.
Okay.
We'll see.
I don't know. No, I think that's everything.
That cannot be Faith.
No.
No. Mm-mm. No. I draw my line there.
Okay. Shannon says.
Yes. All right. I think that's it. Yes.
Okay.
Reality check.
So what'd you do this week?
Finally became COVID negative.
Yay!
That was my exciting thing of the week. And besides that,
That's exciting, re-entering society after just this couple days.
It is. But no, I still really didn't do anything because it went completely through our house except for Madeline. So,
jeez.
Ryan has it. Ryan got it, and Ryan is like still, as of yesterday, testing with the slightest little pink line. And so I'm like, and I haven't really been around him just because I'm like, you need to go do your own thing or whatever. But he's like annoyed, like it's my fault that I gave it to him. And I'm like, I didn't mean to give it to you. And you're the one who, after I tested positive, decided like you still wanted to sleep in the room with me and whatever. I told you, go away.
No, I kicked my family out.
Yeah.
The first time I stayed in my bedroom. The second time I confiscated the basement because I just needed more space. Because the first time I was just, my basement has like, it's the game room and then there's a bathroom. And
Right.
the first time I was in my bedroom, which is right next to the bathroom, but I don't have an ensuite. So I would have to say, guys, I would have to open the door and be like, I'm going to the bathroom. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
like,
put my
stay
mask
away
on
and I'm
run
going
to
to
the
lights all
bathroom.
this place.
Yeah.
No, I took over my bedroom and we do have a bathroom.
You do have an ensuite.
attached. So like, this is my area. Told Madeline, like, stay away. And she had a hard time doing that, but stay away. But he like refused and was like, it'll be fine. If I was going to get it, I was going to get it because I was around you before I knew that that's what you had, blah, blah, blah. And so then he ended up getting it. And he's like, to that point where you first look at the test and you're like, oh, it's negative. But then you like really look at it and you're like, oh, no, there's that like very faint line. So yesterday, my mom and brother had invited us over and he was like, look, I'm negative. And I looked at it and I'm like, no, but you're not, because there's a very faint line here.
It truly goes away.
And he was like, no. And I was like, whatever. I'm not taking you around my mom. Like, sorry, just not. And so then a minute or so later, he looked at it and he was like, oh, I guess I do kind of see it. And I was like, yeah, don't be mad at me because I won't take you out and about. I'm sorry.
Nope.
Yeah, I didn't do really anything this week because he was home and the kids were still home. So looking forward to the 4th of July because that's like one of my favorite holidays. No real cool plans for that, just fireworks. I love fireworks.
Yes, you do.
So
you're just like Jason.
That is all. Yes, I don't have my own footbridge to go watch them off of, but
darn it.
Yes, maybe by next year I'll acquire one of those.
Maybe.
So what'd you do fun? Because you were allowed out in the world all week.
Nothing fun. Well, no, that's a lie. Thursday we had our client appreciation cookout, so that was fun. But the day before that, I had to go pick up my daughter from camp because we had an incident and she had to be sent home. So that's been a couple hard days that felt like weeks. Mm-hmm. And I received another rejection from Social Security.
Ugh.
The third time, so when I called them the first time and said, I want my records, and they're like, all you have to do is write this letter with the following information, blah, 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 blah. I repeated it back. My life is forms. If there is a form that needs to be filled out, I will 100% fill it out. I mean, it's my career and my personal life with my daughter. She did not tell me a form. So I repeated back, this is all I have to put in the letter. Yes. Sent it off. This was like a month ago. 2 weeks later, nope, you have to fill out this form. So I filled out the form, signed it as POA, sent it off. Social Security does not acknowledge a POA. What? So they sent it back again, rejected, just for the records request.
Oh, wow.
So I had to send it back again. So I guess the silver lining of her being sent home was that I was able to get that done
A few days earlier?
But still.
Oh, that's crazy.
Now I'm concerned. I'm like, are they going to send it back again because I actually typed up the information instead of having her handwrite it all?
No, I don't think so.
I hope not. They don't want that. I love her. She has she doesn't have great handwriting. She can write, but they'll send it back going, what? So, yeah, I guess the only thing that I did that was fun was the client appreciation event because it was supposed to be respite week and it wound up not being, and work. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I did not do anything fun.
We are boring.
I binged watched Yellowstone yesterday because it was a rainy day. Well, the end of it. Okay. The end of the first part of season 5.
Okay.
So that was like 4 episodes, but it was while I was doing my Eddie Main research also. Well, finishing the Eddie Main research. So still work. Yep.
All right. On that note.
Join us on Thursday as you hear the research that we put into Eddie Main.
Have a good week.
And we'll meet you at the pier.
Bye.
Bye.
If you enjoyed today's show, we invite you to go to peer54podcast.com to subscribe on your favorite platform. Don't forget to leave us a review. And you can also follow us on many social media channels. Just search for Peer54 Podcast. Also, we are not perfect, so if there is something that we missed or messed up, just let us know by emailing us at peer54podcast@gmail.com.